Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial we are making this gorgeous 3D amigurumi heart. Here's a list of the materials that you'll need. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so let's get started. So I've gone ahead and made one of the tops of my heart, and I'm going to show you how to make the other one. So you'll need two of these. To begin with, you'll need to make a magic ring, and I do have a tutorial for this up on my channel, so do please go check that out. Now into this ring, I'm going to secure with a slip knot and then work 6 single crochets all into that magic ring. That's a double crochet if you are using UK terminology. That's 6 single crochets that I've worked. I'm just going to tighten up the magic ring and get ready for round 2, working in the round. So we're going straight into that very first stitch and working a single crochet, and this will be our increasing round. So we're going to increase our stitches, so it's 2 single crochets in every stitch. So you just want to mark your very first stitch so that when you come round you know exactly where that first stitch is. So go back into that same stitch and work a second single crochet. Then into the next stitch, working 2 single crochets. Remember, that's a double crochet in the UK. Again into the next stitch, another 2 single crochets. And you're just doing that all the way to the end until you reach your stitch marker. So you have 12 stitches on this round. Okay, so this is the final stitch, and then I'm going to count. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we should have 12 stitches, and then now we're going to work round 3. For round 3 we are working 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then it's 2 single crochet into the next stitch, and we're just going to repeat that till the end of the row. So don't forget to mark your very first stitch. So we've worked 1 single crochet. Now into the next one I'm going to work 2 single crochets. One single crochet and 2 single crochets. Repeat this all the way till you reach your stitch marker. Final stitch, and then we're going to count how many stitches we have for this round. So you should have 18 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Okay, so now we're on to round 4. So we'll just take our stitch marker off, work a single crochet into the very first stitch, place your stitch marker to mark where the round starts. And this round is just one single crochet into every stitch. For round 5, 6 and 7 we are just repeating what we've done in round 4 with a single crochet in each stitch, and you should have 18 stitches on each round. Please don't forget to mark your first stitch with your stitch marker. So it's just simply one single crochet into every stitch. Okay, so it's starting to shape up now as we're working our rounds, and I'm just going to count how many I've got. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're on the 5th round. So we want a total of 7 rounds. So just carry on working your rounds and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so we've reached the end of our rounds. Just take the stitch marker out, and now we're going to join our 2 pieces together. So we're going to turn our piece anti-clockwise, just like that, and just pop your ends inside so that they are out of the way. So turn anti-clockwise, and then we're going to insert our hook into that final stitch that we worked from the reverse side. So just insert your hook right into that first stitch. I'll show you again. So just that stitch there, insert your hook, and then you want to pick up your second piece, but for this piece we're not going into that first stitch. So not the first stitch, but the stitch behind. You want to insert your hook into that stitch there. It's the second to last stitch. Just pop all your tails into the inside so they're tucked away neatly. So now we can carry on with working our first slip stitch onto the next stitch. So you want to insert your hook and then into the second piece from where you worked your last single crochet. You insert your hook just there, and you're working a second slip stitch, and then you want to go into the next stitch. So you want a total of 4 slip stitches here, so this would be a third. And the last slip stitch, making it 4. Just count how many we've worked. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And now we can move on to working the body of our heart. So we would just be going all the way around, working a single crochet in every single stitch. So here the first stitch, we don't go into that one because that's where our slip stitch comes from, and we're working into the next stitch with a single crochet. So you'll have 14 on this side of the piece, 14 stitches, and another 14 on the other side of the piece, which in total would make 28 stitches for this round. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Okay, so now I'm going to move over to the other side, not going into that slip stitch but going into the one next to it. That would be your first single crochet for this side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. There we go, we've reached our stitch marker. So for the next round, round 2 for the body, you're simply working a single crochet into every single stitch. Do keep marking your first stitch so you know where your round starts. For round 2, it's simply a single crochet into every single stitch, and you should have a total of 28 stitches at the end of the round. We are working 5 single crochets and then a decrease all the way around. So that's your first single crochet. Pop your stitch marker back on. That's 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now the next 2 stitches we are working a decrease. To work an invisible decrease, you're going through the front loop and the front loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops on your hook. And that gives you an invisible decrease. Again, 5 single crochet. This is the second one. 3, 4 and 5. So again, the front loops only for your decrease. So you go into the front loop of your first one and the front loop of your second one, and then you yarn over, pull through the 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the final 2 loops. And again, another 5 single crochet. And then you're working a decrease. Round 4 is 4 single crochet and then a decrease, and you want to repeat that till the end of the round. For round 5, it's 3 single crochet, then an invisible decrease, and you're repeating that to the end of the round. Round 6 is 2 single crochet and then a decrease, and you're going to repeat that till the end of the round. Okay, so at this point we're going to stop and we're going to fill our heart with our toy filler or polyfill, or even if you've got any scraps of yarn, that's a good idea to fill your hearts with. Now you don't want to overfill it, because that will then stretch your stitches and then you'll be able to see the inside filling. So you want to just put enough so that your stitches are still close together and the heart looks, you know, fairly filled, not empty. You've just got to make that judgment for yourself. So I'll, you know, show you how I do mine, and hopefully that will give you an idea of how much to fill your heart. so here I'm going to add a little bit extra so that once we've worked the rest of our rounds, we are then able to move some of that filler to fill that space. It's looking fairly full. You should just give a nice shape, so you should know yourself that you know you've put enough. So just show you, I think that looks okay for me. And then I'm going to add that little bit extra, like I said, for the rest of my rounds. Once I've worked those, I'll just get my darning needle and poke it through to move over some of that filler. Okay, so we've put our filler in, and now we're going to just carry on with our rounds. So we're on round 7 now. We're working 2 single crochets and then a decrease, and just repeat that till the end of the round. So from this round it can get a little bit fiddly, so do take your time working your stitches. For row 8, all I did was I worked a few invisible decreases to the end of the round. For row 8 you can work a single crochet 2 together, or you can just simply cut the tail off, get your darning needle and just sew closed the gap. Me personally, I find it quite difficult to get the hook into those final stitches, but honestly it's not a problem. You can just close them up with your darning needle. So I'm just taking my darning needle and just distributing that filler into that bottom part of your heart, and just make sure you don't go and obviously pull out any stitches at this point. So you want to just distribute everything evenly, giving your heart a nice shape. There we go. So here we've got a bit of a gap, so all you want to do is get your tail and your darning needle, and we're going to just simply close that little gap up. So just go through the middle and come out round about where that gap is, and you just want to pick up a few stitches there. Don't pull too hard, because obviously that point of your heart will then start going inwards. So what you want to do is just pick up a few stitches from the inside going out, and then just close up that little gap that you've got there as neatly as you can, and then just simply hide the tail inside your heart. See, that's giving it a nice finish. So well done, you've made yourself a 3D amigurumi heart. You can use this for any project. You don't have to use it for your wind spinner, you can use it for anything. You can use it for Valentine's Day. There's a lot of options out there, so I'll now move on to show you how to attach it to your wind spinner. Cut a long piece of yarn and thread it through your darning needle. Okay, so I'm just going to take my wind spinner and I'm going to feed my darning needle through to where I want my heart to hang. So that obviously just the point, the end point of your wind spinner. And you're going to just make a knot there a few times so it doesn't come undone. You want to leave a little tail so we can, you know, obviously weave that through later. I've just done a few knots there. Tighten them up as much as you can, and then you want to get the other end of your tail and then thread that through your darning needle. So like I said, here it is totally optional. If you don't have any beads, you would then just simply feed that through your heart, but I'll show you how I feed my beads through. So I take the smaller one first. So obviously you just want to alternate between colours. Then you want to take your larger size bead, then another small one, then again with the larger one, and then finally finishing off with the smaller size bead. So these darning needles that I've got are from Poundland, so if anyone would like to go and purchase a pack, you get quite a few in the pack. Okay, so now I'm just going to feed my darning needle right through the center of my heart, and from the top to the bottom and coming out exactly at that point. Now here, if you don't have a charm, that's absolutely fine. You can miss that part out and you can just simply knot your tail at the bottom of that pointy bit of your heart. and then just feed your darning needle through to hide your tail going in different directions. Or if you do have a charm, I'll show you how to attach that. Okay, so from here you just want to take your charm, feed your darning needle through, then you want to just make a few knots so that your charm is there secure, but you don't want to go too tight because you want your charm to dangle. So I'll just show you how I do that. I don't go too tight, can you see? So you just hold it there with your finger if you want, and then I just go in with my darning needle. Okay, so from here I'm gonna make my way back up to where my beads are, and I'm gonna form a knot there so that nothing comes loose, or nothing comes undone. So I'm going to make a few knots at the top here. I simply just inserting my darning needle and then going through into that loop before I pull through all my yarn. So you just want to do that a few times. Simply pop your darning needle in, feed it through that loop, and then pull tight, and that forms a knot. Okay, so here, if you can see any gaps, just close them up with your tail. Okay, so that's the gap sewn up. Now I'm just going to hide my tail inside the heart before I snip off my end. So you just want to go in different directions a few times with your tail, and just simply hide it inside. That's all there is to it, really. There's just one last thing left to do. So where we joined our yarn to feed our beads, we have got a loose end there, so we need to weave that end in. So again, just thread your darning needle, and then we're just going to simply weave it through the stitches and hide that tail. It's going in through one way and then the opposite through a different stitch, and then we're just simply going to cut the end of our tail, and our wind spinner's ready. If you are looking for the wind spinner tutorial, that's in the description box below, so do go have a look at that. And if you make any makes from my tutorials, do let me know. Hashtag #AshleyDCrochet. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please subscribe to my channel. Please like, share and comment, and I hope to bring you more fun, exciting projects like these in the near future. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.